Oh, you just pressed play on This Week with Drunk Astrology. My name is Breitenstein. I'm your astrologer and the creator of Drunk Astrology. If you're looking for someone to make astrology make sense to you and for you, well, my friend, you have come to the right place. Here on this podcast, we discuss the weekly cosmic weather. And when we break it down, we break it down. I believe that astrology can be used as a tool to inform your daily decisions and enhance your day-to-day life. So if you're ready to have a hell of a lot of fun with astrology, make some strategic decisions, and to just keep it real, well, that journey starts right now. We want the funk. Give up the funk. We need the funk. We gotta have that funk. Hey! That's exactly how I want to start this week's podcast, with that funk. Okay? This is the episode for the week of February 27th through, drumroll please, March 5th, 2023. That is correct, you fiery, feisty listener. We begin a new month this week, and I'll make this disclaimer about March. The way you waltz right on in is not about to be how you walk on out, okay? Making that disclaimer right here, right now. I am dubbing March the wave of change because there is a bunch of change a-coming, okay? So the outside world around you and, hey, maybe even some internal world shifts too, are on the horizon. And you might go, but Graham, what does that mean? That freaks me out. That really scares me, and I don't really do that. Graham, what? You know your cosmic coach has got you. I'm gonna give you a little rundown right now in this little intro. There are 3 major cosmic events taking place in the month of March that you aren't really gonna get a choice. You're gonna feel them. You're gonna know that there is a shift happening. Okay? 3 different reasons. 1, Saturn is leaving Aquarius and entering Pisces. Now, it has not been in Pisces for 29 years. Okay? And it's been in Aquarius for the past 2.5 years. So the Aquarius lesson in your chart, if you look at the house and any planets that you've got going on with Aquarius, the last 2.5 years, there has been lessons, challenges, restrictions, a need for responsibility, accountability. That's all about to shift. That energy is leaving that part of your chart and entering the Pisces part of your chart for the next 2.5 years. That is, a wave of change. Especially because Saturn's going into a water sign where the waves are about to be real. The emotional experiences, the need to, this is what I love to say about Saturn in Pisces, or if it's transiting your 12th house. A need to boundary culture vultures or info sharks. You know, the people that are around you that don't really have your best interest in mind. Maybe you're just a little used to them, kind of just draining you. This is when Saturn enters that part of your chart, and he's now entering just for the collective. Once he enters on March 7th, then the collective has to go, my responsibility or our responsibility is to go, you're toxic, bye-bye. You're blocked. You are nope. So the restriction, there's the positive flip of feeling restricted when it comes to the Pisces energy of emotionality, sensitivity. And then there's we'll just stop there. There's that positive spin where there's an inner sense of authority that comes in and says, I'm sorry, what? You said what about who? No, not me. So blocked, delete, so there's the positive spin on that. Then this might be what we're all, that's not what we are looking forward to this. Mars will finally clear his retrograde shadow. Remember that Mars is energy, drive, motivation, sex, anger, all of that. And he has been in Gemini retrograde or slowing down since September. Okay, so finally on March 16th, he will clear his retrograde shadow. So everything that has been frustrating in the Gemini part of your chart, house and planets, and potent points, is finally clearing old territory and entering new. It is finally moving forward in a fresh, new, innovative way with clarity of mind, with clarity on who's right for this. Gemini is all about the people around you, your inner circle, communications, exchanging ideas, all of that, embracing curiosity, really living with curiosity. That's been kind of my main tag on Mars and Gemini for this long of a period. Now it's like, okay, I've explored my options. I've done the necessary work. I've investigated, I've researched, I've talked, I've tapped my people. Now, moving ahead. So this is great news. I am really looking forward to this. I'm sure you are too, depending on what's been happening in your life. Now, third and final, Pluto, who has been wrapping a story in Capricorn since 2008, is finally leaving Capricorn and entering Aquarius and just shifting the collective. Now, Pluto is one of those, he's the furthest planet out there. He takes forever to leave a sign. Okay, so Capricorn since 2008 and Aquarius until 2044. All right, now this year we're just going to get a little 3-month preview of Pluto in Aquarius. So you get a little sometimes Pluto doesn't whisper. Sometimes he just comes in with the alchemy, right? He just immediately comes in and goes, whoop. Well, I'm going to switch this around. I'm going to melt. He's the great alchemist of the zodiac, right? So it's that soul, it's intense, it's soul energy, life, death cycles, transformation, a word that is easier said than experienced. But there's that inner revolution, that inner melting that comes with Pluto transit. So we're finally busting out of that story in Capricorn and moving into an Aquarius story, which, did you already hear? Saturn's been for the last 2.5 years. So Saturn's kind of giving us the little alley-oop. Saturn's gone, okay, I'm going to get you regimented here. I'm going to get you structured here. I'm going to help you lay down some building blocks in this part of your chart. Because the old dog, Pluto, is going to come through, and now he's going to start moving things around. But at least you've got the foundation, or if we've done our good Saturn work, you've got the foundation in that part of your chart. All right? So we're coming up on a lot of very big energy, and it's a shift. It's a change. So the culture is about to change, okay? I just want you to I don't want you to go through March and when things take place, you'd be like, what is going on? This is crazy. We got some crazy things coming. And not in a way that if you are somebody that's out there this is so scary, don't be scared. It's not that change is great. We just have to embrace it. We just have to accept that change is what's necessary. Pluto exposes shadows wherever he goes in order to make us better, in order to improve to make it better than it was before. So one of the things that I want to point out is that this week, and I believe it's on the shift is on Wednesday, but we'll see. Saturn and Pluto are both going to be Pluto's already there. Saturn's about to waltz into the anaretic degree of Aquarius. So when that anaretic degree, 29 degrees of any sign, That is a powerful point. And it's like the energy goes into pushing, it's this exertion of the planet's energy, the sign's energy, and however long it's been in that sign. So we're now, from a Saturn standpoint, the last 2.5 years of an Aquarius lesson in your chart is now going to get amplified. Before it goes into Pisces, it's going to either test you, challenge you, or ask you, or confirm with you. That's actually, I like that better. I hate the testing thing. I've never liked it, and it's only because society pushes that. The universe is testing me, that it even came out of my mouth. I don't like that word. Confirming with you if you have learned your lesson in the Aquarius part of your chart. Now, Pluto is also doing that until he shifts into Aquarius, but that doesn't take place until the 23rd of March. So Pluto's going to be there just sitting on that point for a while. And then, like this week, we've got the moon that kind of comes into a little persnickety situation, but with Pluto. We'll talk about that in a minute. So just keep that in mind, that you're going to be asked, you're going to be experiencing things that are confirming or just kind of questioning, have you learned your lesson here? Just think about where you feel, if you have your chart, if you're a client of mine, you have your chart, you can look at the Aquarius parts, likely in readings, especially over the last couple of months. We've been looking at what Saturn's been doing. We've been looking at where Pluto is and Mars. These three in particular, because they're such big moments. So such big energies and potent energies in all of our charts. So just look at that. Find Aquarius, find Capricorn, find Pisces, and just know that the little part of the little last little quadrant is getting some work done. Okay? So I'm just putting that in your ear because we are entering March. So that's a little monthly overview, and we'll talk, of course, every week as we do. Now, this week in particular, we start out with a Gemini second quarter moon, which I listened to another astrologer that I just absolutely love. Her name is Stormy Grace. If you don't know her, if you don't listen to her, I encourage you to listen to her. But she calls this quarter moon a crisis of action, and I absolutely love that. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. So we open the week with that kind of energy. Then the midsection of this week packs quite a punch. I'm not even gonna lie. There's a lot of potent. There's some shifts. There's some connection. There's some commitments. There's a sign change with Mercury, and Venus is really going on a journey this week. But she's coming to shake hands with Jupiter. She's coming to shake hands with Chiron, and the Venus conjunction to Jupiter is one of the luckiest days of the year, especially when it comes to desire, money, relationship, love, but especially with self-love, right? And then we'll talk more about it when she gets to Chiron, there's a whole nother type of handshake going on. And then Mercury and Venus are really our headliners this week. The moon does have some potent situations. We will get more into that with the daily doses. So if you're not subscribed to A Daily Dose of Stars, I encourage you to do that. All you got to do is just scroll up and look at the show notes, and there's a link there where we really go through the day by day of every single week. So let's see. Mercury, Venus, I've talked about that. I'm just looking at my notes, sorry, and I'm thinking out loud. I talk to myself all the time. Okay, let's just get into the, actually, let me just say this. the Venus-Jupiter conjunction, I'm going to be giving you horoscopes, okay? So you know how we do here. I always look out for you. So it's like, where's your good luck? Where can you expect that whoosh of luck, of love, of money, of optimism, of fortune, and also just a boost to your own identity, or a whoosh of positive strategy and action. Because remember, this is happening in Aries. So it's about the self first and foremost. So if you hear that, like, ooh, a good luck charm when it comes to relationship, yes, but starting with yourself, right? Like, what's somebody else going to do for you if you just hate on yourself all the time, right? So this is like a nice whoosh of like self-confidence, a little boost of esteem. So I don't want anyone out there that's kind of like struggling with their own relationship to self. That like, oh, here comes your savior. You're your savior with this Venus-Jupiter conjunction, right? You've got the juice, as Janelle Monáe said. Okay, so we're going to do that. Now, quick little news board items. We are at 29 Daily Dose subscribers. 29 is just like the number of this week. We've got Saturn at the anaretic degree 29 of Aquarius. We've got Pluto 29 degrees Capricorn. And now we're at 29 Daily Dose subscribers. Just thank you. I don't think we're going to, unless in the next couple of days we catapult 70 subscribers. I don't think we're going to make our 100 subscriber goal, which is okay, but we've got 29 people subscribed to Daily Dose. If you are hearing this for the first time, it's daily 2 to 4 minute episodes. It's a subscription. It's $10 a month. 1.5 Starbucks lattes get you in line with the stars, the moon, the cycles, and it preps you, and it gives you just great guidance based on the astrology of the moment. And so if you're interested, just scroll up and click that link, and you'll see I created a whole beautiful landing page. It answers all your questions. It's got quotes from other subscribers. One of my favorites is from Erica, who says, "Graham, you just make life make sense." That's one of my faves. But last week we had Kelsey West come on. We had Kristen, who is a client of mine, so welcome. And then we've got Christina, who went above par and said, you know what? I would like to pledge $12 a month instead of $10. So thank you, Christina, for going above and beyond and adding an additional $2 a month. That means the world to me. It means the world to me to have everyone who comes in and supports and, finds value in what I'm offering. You guys have just no idea how much that warms my heart. And one of the things I want to say about the Daily Dose, just in case you are listening to this podcast on Spotify, I have learned through my host platform that Spotify does not support subscription-based premium content. So that doesn't mean you can't get a Daily Dose. It just means that in your email confirmation when you sign up, there are all these different options for where you can get the daily doses. So I have some Spotify listeners that still listen to this podcast on Spotify, and then they listen to a Daily Dose on Apple Podcast or Google Podcast. There's a whole list of them in your email confirmation. But so just in case anybody gets confused, it's not you. It's that Spotify they prioritize music content. And they are not just on the up and up when it comes to podcasting. So you're not crazy. It's not something that you're doing wrong. It is that it's Spotify. They don't support the premium content just yet. So I think that'll change. But just so you know that, and you've heard it from me, that Spotify, as of right now, doesn't support that. Then let's see. As we are news board, just continuing the news board, this is the last month for yearly readings. So if you want to get your 2023 yearly overview, custom horoscope guide, and oracle card reading, messages for all 12 months, then this is your last month to do it. Because after March, let's see, how many days are in March? After March 31st, which is a Friday, that's nice. The yearly reading goes away until next year. And remember, if you want to, if it is applicable to you, PayPal offers split payments. There are so many different ways that you can pay for it. It's crazy. And it's really helpful. And I know that a lot of my clients who have already got the yearly reading have taken advantage of it, right? You can split it into 4 payments. You can split it into like 24 payments. You can get a line of PayPal credit and it's interest, pay it off in 6 months, interest free. There's a lot of really great things that you can do. And I also want to just dovetail from that and say that my availability for readings is going to be shifting. Now, it's already changed a little bit. This also comes with a little bit of news. Yours truly is the social copy editor at Ebony Magazine. That's a new position that I've just walked into as of last week. So a lot of exciting changes for your astrologer. I've had 3 days on the job so far, and I've absolutely loved it. I love my team, and been having a really good time. So with that, though, my schedule is shifting quite a bit, and availability is more scattered, and just it looks different. And remember when I've been telling you, we just got to get through March, and then from April on, things will start making sense. Here it comes. Here comes that, like, okay, like I'm making changes, like as I go along, and then it's gonna be, and then by April we'll have it all solidified. But I'm just putting that in your ear now. So if you're looking for readings, if you're looking for the yearly reading, you only got, this is the last month, and 2, the availability has shifted. And you can always reach out to me if you are looking for a reading and you don't have what I've got available isn't working for you. Just send me an email and we'll make it work. I always want to make it work so that, you get what you need and it works when I can be there for you. Okay, so that's it. That is the news board items. Let's get into the moons, and then we'll get into the horoscope and get you on your way. All right, so again, as we start the week, Monday, February 27th, we have a Gemini quarter moon just after midnight Pacific Standard Time. Remember, all the times I give you are Pacific, so adjust for your time zones. This Gemini quarter moon, as Stormy says, it's a crisis of action. But because it's in Gemini, I have just a little couple of quotes that I'm putting with this Gemini quarter moon. And some of these quotes are, I've got something to say. Or because we've got the sun in Pisces. A quarter moon is when the moon, after a new or full moon, it is when the moon comes to square a 90-degree angle the sun. So the sun's in Pisces, feeling, and Gemini wants to say something about it. So another quote is, I feel like ... or I want to create ... This is my outlet to emote. This is the type of energy that we're feeling. The sun in Pisces wants us to move with intuition. Gemini, as a sign that Mercury rules, is really looking for fact, looking for, or just looking to say something about it. So it's really expressing how you feel, but that can feel like, this crisis of action. It can feel like I have to say this right now, like in the moment, this feeling I've got. Something around there. So we start the week off with kind of like an action, a boost of action, and it can feel a little friction. It can feel a little stressful. Just align your words with your emotions, right? Align the two, and that should help you overcome any kind of stressful energy. Then on Tuesday the 28th, the last day of February, the Gemini moon goes void at 5:07 p.m. trine to Saturn. So great opportunity to work and collaborate, especially with authority figures. That can even include parents and kids. Remember, Gemini is the kids and Saturn is like the parents, grandparents. Then at 6:40 p.m., the moon enters Cancer. That's on Tuesday the 28th. And the moon is in Cancer all day Wednesday the 1st, Thursday the 2nd, and on Friday the 3rd, the Cancer moon goes void at 6:22 a.m. with an opposition to Pluto. This can be a little intense, or a lot of intense. Remember, Cancer moon, now the moon loves being in Cancer. It's homebody energy. It is, soul-satisfying energy. It's that warm fuzzy. But going void with an opposition to Pluto, that, at the anaretic degree, that can feel intense. And Pluto in Capricorn has been, dissolving and evolving infrastructure, work, how you provide for yourself, how you provide for your family. That can also be found family, friends. So, and it's that like squeeze of lessons learned since 2008, right? We're closing out, as we get to the end of March, like we are closing out some big energy. So that Cancer moon, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, can be a lot of intense. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Also, it's a put out energy. So you could also be, saying like, hey, I've completely changed this Capricorn part of my chart, and now I'm ready to put this out. Then at 7:16 a.m., the moon enters Leo on Friday the 3rd. It's in Leo all day Saturday. Sunday goes void at 7:18 p.m. with an opposition to Saturn. So now here we go again. Wednesday through Sunday, our moons are having these intense aspects. A Leo moon wants to create. It wants to, be the hype man for itself, for its people. It wants to create. It wants to love. It wants to be bold and adventurous. And then in opposition to Saturn at the anaretic degree, it can feel like a little bah humbug. Saturn wants to get real. Like, hey, like, have you not learned your lesson yet? So just keep that in mind. The Leo moon is a fun energy. There are, let's see, like Saturday has some fun vibe to it, but then with Sunday coming around with that void, it can be just a little bit of like back to school, I guess. I guess I've got work to do. I guess I've got to be a little more disciplined. It's got that vibe to it. So really, Wednesday through Sunday, from the moon standpoint, it's a little intense, and it's a little have you learned your lesson or not type of energy. Then the moon enters Virgo at 7:38 p.m. Sunday night. And then we go into next week, which the fun really begins, and we're going to have a Virgo full moon. So next week, just all of March, just keep in mind every single week is going to have, if not just one, it's going to have multiple potent moments. So that really begins. It really starts this week. And then it's just going to it's like a domino effect. Okay, now let's get to the Venus-Jupiter conjunction. It's on Wednesday the 1st, but if you're on the East Coast, it's just after midnight on Thursday the 2nd. So Wednesday, Thursday have this whoosh of opportunity, good luck, and fortune to them. So that, even though the moons are stressed and they're intense, there is this like, oh my gosh, and of course we're multi-dimensional beings. We experience multiple things at the same time all the time. This is one of those things. The moon is over there like potent, and then Venus and Jupiter is like, but look, it's the treasure chest, right? It's the gold at the end of the rainbow. So where is this little boost of good luck for you? So for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sag, it's like where you want to go. It's you in the spotlight. It's you doing what you love, going where you want to go, expanding your horizons. There's some kind of opportunity here to do those things. With the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, it's in your investments. It's in the money you make. It's in letting things go. There is an actual positive vibe to like anything that's not serving you, if there's any fear, if there's any self-doubt, if there's any jealousy or just toxicity around you, this is a great like whoosh of like cleansed. Nope, not over here. Let that go. Bye-bye. That's wonderful. So on the home front and your relationship front, your emotional space gets this whoosh of luck and charm, but also finances. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, your relationships. There might be some kind of opportunity, some kind of communication that you get Wednesday or Thursday that aligns you with something positive. It's a whoosh of luck or fortune. So tap into or just pay attention to, what do you hear on Wednesday, Thursday? Then water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, it's on the work front. Right? Your ability to get organized, or maybe it's like another work opportunity comes up, something that aligns with your worth and value to the job or to the relationship. This also plays on relationships in a way, but like relationships with collective goals. And especially when it comes to the work front, you get this whoosh of energy and a boost to your contributions at work. Okay? That's Wednesday. Then on Thursday, it's not like the planets get any more quiet. Then Mercury has a conjunction to Saturn at the last degree of Aquarius. So Mercury is our thinking mind. It's how we communicate, exchange ideas. But it's what we're thinking. And it comes to shake hands with Saturn, saying, all right, I'm going to let you know, Saturn, I learned my lesson. So now I'm going to ... Finish that sentence on Thursday, right? There's an opportunity here to make a commitment based on what you've learned already over the last 2.5 years, based on what you've done, but complete that sentence. I learned my lesson, so now I'm going to ... Not too long after that, about 8 hours later, Mercury enters Pisces. So swan dives out of the air and into the water. Now, Mercury in Pisces is considered in its fall. Okay, just think about that. Mercury is about words, communication, ideas. And when it's in water, it's drowned out. The voice gets a little drowned out. So until March 18th, now a watery Mercury it's a little stressed, so it doesn't have all the words that it needs to express itself clearly. But what it does do is it puts an emphasis on intuition reigning supreme. Listen to your intuition. Remember, Mercury likes to fact check, but right now, from the 2nd to the 18th, it is more about feelings over facts. All right, like what feels right to you, what doesn't feel right. Listen to that, right? That left brain wants to stop you. That left brain wants to analyze, judge, criticize. But Mercury in Pisces says, no, quiet your left mind and tap into that right side intuition. Then on Friday, Venus, here she comes again. She's had her conjunction with Jupiter. Then she comes and has her conjunction to Chiron, which this is a great opportunity to acknowledge your personal growth, right? Venus being love, relationship, desire, and Chiron being the wound story, right? It's our emotional journey from beginning to end. It's the wound we carry with us. It's a soul wound that the wound itself doesn't change, but how we work with it does. Venus comes and embraces this energy and says, look how far you've come. Chiron's in Aries too, right? So Jupiter gave us this whoosh of good luck and optimism about looking forward and moving forward, kind of trailblazing. And then with Chiron, it's like, look what you're doing. And look what you've already done. Look how you've done this. Give yourself your emotional flowers on Friday, okay? The inner work takes a commitment. So this is a great opportunity to shake hands with your wound. I love personifying, y'all that have worked with me for a while, Personify your trauma, your triggers, your that real deep inner work and shake hands with it and say, you know what, it's not been easy, but I am so glad that I have you. I'm so glad that I've learned, and now I can carry these lessons into any relationships moving forward. Right? So just give yourself your emotional flowers on Friday as we go into the weekend. Okay, that is it for the week. I hope you have a great week. I'm going to be seeing you throughout the week on social media, as I always do, and in your inbox. Okay, so have a wonderful, wonderful waltz into March. And remember, the wave of change is coming. That's something to be excited about. Talk to you soon. Bye. This is Graham Breitenstein, and you've been listening to This Week with Drunk Astrology. If you want to follow Drunk Astrology, head to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and hit that follow button. And if you want to learn how to put astrology in motion for you, head to drunkastro.com and get on the insider list. If you haven't already, subscribe, rate, and review this podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Google platforms. Tune in next week for yet another opportunity to work in sync with the stars. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon.